Hello and welcome back to OmniFoot TV. This is your host Omar speaking. Today's video will be the final group preview, and it will be that of Group F. So on this side right here, this is going to be, in my humble opinion, possibly the easiest group to predict. Mainly because, well, it has Portugal in it. It just makes more sense to assume that Portugal are going to have the easiest chance out of any of the teams you would expect to top any of these groups to make it through. So let's get to it. We have Portugal, Turkey, Georgia, and the Czech Republic. I'll start with Portugal. Bearing in mind that the Portuguese national team under Roberto Martinez currently ended up qualifying to the Euros with a complete clean slate, 10 victories out of 10, 9 clean sheets. You can't help but expect this team to do extremely well in this tournament considering the depth that they have. And their stars in general, Bruno Fernandes, who has been extremely potent, and he's been clinical for both club and country. Rafa Leao and Joao Felix are two names that have the potential to light up this entire tournament. And Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously, coming in and hopefully having a wonderful end to his Portugal career if he does intend on retiring after the Euros. I've not heard anything, but this will be his last Euros tournament. So I hope that he has something to show for it by the end of the tournament. I've said tournament a lot. With the results that they've been able to churn out recently, under Roberto Martinez in particular, I'm not that big a fan of Martinez. I'm just going to put that out there. I think that he mismanaged Belgium and their golden generation, that they could have done much more, despite the fact that they did finish third in the 2018 World Cup. I still believe that that team should have gone on to the final, and that they could have at least won a European Championship. So I hope that his tournament form on the international stage doesn't translate to Portugal. So with that in mind, I still believe that they will end up finishing first. Also, fun fact, Portugal have made it to 8 Euros, and they've made it to 5 semifinals. So that's 5 semifinal appearances out of 8 tournament appearances. That's pretty big, and that's another reason to root for them. Everything always looks good on paper, right? Second team we're going to get into is Turkey. The Turkish national team have always been quite strange to me. Their best finish in the Euros was in 2008 when they finished third after losing out to eventual winner Spain in the semifinals of that tournament. I look at Turkey, I look at the likes of Yildiz, Çalhanoğlu, and Arda Güler, and I think that they can obviously do well. They were touted and promoted to be dark horses in the last edition of this tournament. They were in a group with Italy, eventual winners, Wales, and Switzerland, and they crashed out without a single point to their name, despite the fact that they were going into the tournament with quite the form to back the predictions that people had. And I think at this point in time, we can say that they may, for once, do well. Because it's been a very long time since we've seen them pull a rabbit out of a hat at an international tournament and just bring forth something worth remembering. So, with that in mind, I am going to put them in second place. I think it's time that they get their due, and I think it's time they translate the potential that they have onto the international stage, onto the continental stage, and make it out of this group as the second place team. As for the Czech Republic, the Czech Republic are technically former winners of this tournament. It was the Czechoslovakian nation that did win the tournament in 1976. But I'm not necessarily certain of how the inner workings of that are, nor do I know where the trophy is. If you guys do, please let me know, because I haven't really looked that up, but I'm sure that there's a story behind that. Anyways, the Czech Republic finished second in their qualifications group behind Albania, who did put in a heroic shift against current champions Italy earlier today. That was a very good game from start to finish. It was a very interesting encounter, and do with that what you will. I think the Czech Republic are going into this tournament weakened. They're not what the bill says they are, and I personally think that they will end up finishing third. The Right Republic. Almost forgot that. For those who don't know, their best finish was in the Euro of 2004 when they made it to the semifinals, and they had the likes of Pavel Nedved, for Christ's sake. Pavel Nedved, Milan Baros, who did finish that tournament as the top scorer with 5 goals and in 5 games. From having a Ballon d'Or winner, how long ago? 20 years ago, to sinking into a pit of obscurity somewhat. Although I do, hope that they manage to do as well as their fans hope they can. But I don't see them possibly. I don't know if they're going to make it out of the group per se. I think they might, but I don't see them finishing second. And now let's go to Georgia. This one's very interesting. Just so you guys know, the Georgian national team basically have 15 qualification victories on the international stage ever since they've had that many ever since 2015. So they've only won 15 qualifiers for major tournament qualifiers since that point in time. And they were basically in the same group as Norway, Spain, and Scotland. They finished 4th, qualified via the playoffs, and they beat my Greece on penalties in what was a legendary night in Tbilisi. So, this side is quite happy to be where they are, no doubt. With the likes of Kvaratskhelia, and let's be real here, he's got something special. Former Serie A most valuable player, Serie A winner with Napoli, obviously. Their best player, their star man. I think that their best hope is to just make sure their backline is disciplined enough so that they can make sure not to concede as many. So they can make sure not to concede or to concede the least amount of goals possible, so as to allow Kvaratskhelia to actually have some sort of hope going forward. That's if he gets the ball against these teams. All due respect, obviously, but Georgia are minnows. They're the weakest team in this tournament on paper. And seeing them go far will quite possibly be the biggest Euro upset in history. So I can't help but predict that they will end up finishing bottom of their group. And, despite the fact that they did end up qualifying in a group that had the likes of Spain and Scotland, I do think their luck is going to run out here. Now to get to the results, because I've had quite the luck predicting games so far, right? I've got 1 out of the last 3. Not bad. All right. Turkey, Georgia. I predict a 3-1 win for the Turks. The Turks. Portugal and Czech Republic. I think Portugal are going to walk away with a 3-0 victory here. Georgia versus the Czech Republic. This is where it could get funny. I think the Czech Republic will walk away with... I think this could end in a draw, actually. Could end in a draw. I don't think it will, but I have a feeling that we could see a surprise. Turkey versus Portugal. 2-0 win for the Portuguese. I don't think we're going to see much of a fight here. The potential and the quality in that Portuguese squad overall is too much. Portugal versus Georgia, this is going to be like a 5-0 rout or something. This would be very bad if it did end up happening. But we did see Germany absolutely trounce Scotland by 5-1 in the opener of this tournament, and Georgia are much weaker than Scotland, and they were in the same group again. The Czech Republic versus Turkey. I think the Czechs are going to try and bridge together, or put together some sort of last stand. So I'm going to give this a 2-2 draw. So let me try and count the points. Basic math. I suck at that, but bear with me. So Turkey, 3 points. No points here. And 1 point. So that's 4. Second place. Portugal, 3 from 3. So that's 9. So they are officially the 3rd side that I predicted will make it out of this group with 9 points out of an eventual 9. The Czech Republic will walk away with 2 points. Not bad. Not a bad return. one of the better sides in this third place category. The Georgians will walk away with nothing. Oh, sorry, 1 point. Actually, I forgot that I predicted the draw with the Czech Republic. So that's 1 point. Sorry. And yeah, that's it. This has been my prediction for Group F, and these have been my predictions for the Euros group stage overall. I thought it would be more appropriate to just predict the group stages and not go into the later stages, which I have stuck down here, and this keeps falling, but I'm going to try and hold on to that as much as possible. Thank you all for tuning in, and to any of those who have tuned in throughout the entire process of my predictions for the group stages of this tournament, it has been my pleasure to hopefully entertain and inform you. I appreciate it deeply. I hope you've all enjoyed the tournament so far. I hope that the winners have found joy and the losers have found some, no, I don't mean losers as in an insulting manner. I just mean like those who've had to watch their national teams lose their games have found some, some comfort, and that they have hope ahead of their next ones. If this is the first time for you tuning into the channel, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my predictions in the comment section below. I'm happy to engage anyone who's interested in having a conversation, hopefully respectful discourse. And, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook, and here on YouTube. I think there was another platform somewhere in there. But yeah, you'll find the links below. So thank you once again for tuning in. I've been Omar. You have been wonderful, and I will see you all again in my next video.